she ran toward the officers, she was shouting and yelling, "He's going to kill me. He's going to kill me." And the officer said, Who's going to kill me? He said, "OJ is going to kill me."
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
You never ask a question in a courtroom, much less do a demonstration where you don't know what the outcome is.
Detective Furman, did you plant or manufacture any evidence in this case?
No.
You did not.
No.
He refused to answer that question on the grounds it might tend to incriminate him.
You truly believe that evidence was planted?
Yes. From this day till the day I die.
On October 3rd, 2023, it had been 28 years since O.J. Simpson was acquitted of the brutal M of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and waiter Ron Goldman. Even after decades, the infamous crime persists as an unsolved mystery which is further confirmed by his children.
I'm Arnell Simpson, my dad's oldest child.
This retrospective journey takes us through pivotal moments in Simpson's life, spanning from the nationally televised criminal trial that captivated the nation, to the subsequent charges of kidnapping and armed robbery that ultimately led to his imprisonment. The O.J. Simpson trial, often labeled the trial of the century with its associated dream team and the memorable phrase, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit," has become a pop culture phenomenon, overshadowing the gravity of the actual case. In the public consciousness, catchphrases, comedic takes, and parodies have taken precedence, creating a spectacle. However, amidst the humor and commentary lies the tragic reality that Simpson's ex-wife Nicole Brown endured a history of domestic A and was brutally M, as reported by The Washington Post. Marcia Clark, the lead prosecutor, emphasized the challenges in seeking justice for Brown, citing Simpson's celebrity status and the tumultuous period in Los Angeles history as complicating factors, according to Vox. Beyond the entertainment and cultural references, the trial remains a somber reminder of a profound tragedy.
I know and I accept the fact that people are going to feel whatever way they're going to feel. They're going to... whatever.
At the time of their divorce in '92, just 2 years prior to Nicole Brown's tragic M, O.J. Simpson and Brown had been married for 7 years, during which they had 2 children together, a boy and a girl. Following Brown's death and Simpson's arrest, he placed the children in the custody of Brown's parents with an understanding that he could pursue regaining guardianship upon his release. However, this decision sparked a prolonged legal dispute. Despite Simpson's successful petition for custody in 1996, Brown's parents continued to seek permanent custody, leading to an extended legal battle as reported by the BBC.
Whether or not Mr. Simpson is found by a jury to have murdered Nicole, the fact that he is a convicted wife batterer means that he may present a risk of harm to these children.
As of now, these children are adults, as are Simpson's 3 children from a previous marriage. Despite their efforts to stay out of the intense media spotlight focused on their father and family, the enduring public fascination with O.J. Simpson has prevented them from entirely avoiding public attention. The whereabouts and current status of O.J. Simpson and Nicole Brown's children continue to be of interest to those following the aftermath of this high-profile case. The eldest child of O.J. Simpson and Nicole Brown, Sydney Brooke Simpson, was born in 1985. During her childhood, Sydney, along with her brother Justin, experienced early exposure to the limelight when their parents took them to the premiere of Naked Gun 33, 1 out of 3, The Final Assault, a film in which Simpson starred. The family graced the red carpet for photographs. Unfortunately, a more somber form of publicity arose when paparazzi captured footage of the children attending their mother's funeral with their father, confirming that Sydney and Justin were upstairs sleeping when their mother was tragically killed. In her adult life, Sydney has deliberately steered clear of the public eye. According to Georgia Newsday, she maintained a low profile with the exception of a 2005 arrest and strived to preserve her anonymity. Sydney frequently changed residences, going by the name Portia as of 2014. Public photographs of her were scarce after 2009 until the Georgia Newsday report. The article revealed her working as a waitress in the same restaurant where her half-brother Jason served as a sous chef, unbeknownst to their co-workers. By 2016, Sydney reportedly resided in St. Petersburg, Florida, along with her brother, as reported by the Tampa Bay Times. She was involved in real estate and had earned a degree from Boston University in 2010. The younger of O.J. Simpson and Nicole Brown's children, Justin Ryan Simpson, was born in 1988 and, like his sister Sydney had early exposure to the media. There are no reports indicating that Justin lived under another name for a period. According to Georgia Newsday, in 2014, he worked as a busboy in the same restaurant as his sister and half-brother Jason. Additionally, the Tampa Bay Times reported that Justin, Sydney, and their half-sister Arnell briefly formed a company together bearing his name. However, by 2016, Justin had transitioned to a career in real estate. Justin has found satisfaction in the real estate industry and has remained a realtor over the years. Initially working as an agent for Coldwell Banker, he was associated with DHM Real Estate by 2019 as reported by E! News. While his Instagram account has a more personal touch, none of his social media profiles have been updated since 2022, when he and his partner announced they were expecting a child. In a 2016 interview with the Tampa Bay Times, Justin expressed his love for living in Florida, describing it as a gorgeous place even though his career demanded long hours. Sydney and Justin Simpson's low-key lifestyles have not shielded them entirely from media speculation given their father's ongoing public controversies, including his arrest and conviction for armed robbery in 2008 as reported by The Guardian. Retrospective documentaries and dramatizations of O.J. Simpson's trial for the M of Nicole Brown have also contributed to continued interest in the lives of the couple's children and their current relationship with their father. Amidst rumors and unverifiable claims, Georgia Newsday reported an alleged confrontation between Sydney and Simpson during which Sydney supposedly accused him of her mother's M. Tabloids have shared various unconfirmed accounts with the National Enquirer, citing unnamed sources claiming Sydney believed in her father's guilt but forgave him and sought reconciliation during his incarceration. In 2019, Radar Online quoted Sydney's ex-boyfriend as stating that both siblings believe their mother was Kay in a spoiled drug deal. However, these assertions remain speculative.
OJ plans on moving in with his oldest daughter in Florida. She has like a townhouse or a duplex down there for a few months, maybe a year, until he gets on his feet, and then he'll be back on his own again.
Sydney and Justin have not publicly commented on their father's innocence or guilt. According to Radar Online, their aunt, Tanya Brown, suggested that the now adult children are leading happy and normal lives, acknowledging that they may have discussed the issue privately. "It's the pink elephant in the room that I hope never shows up," said Brown. "We don't talk about it." However, it seems to be a topic they avoid within the family. Simpson himself, as reported by USA Today, told the Associated Press that he maintains a positive relationship with his children and they do not discuss their mother's fate. However, still, due to rumors, people believe that there is something wrong between the father and the kids. One person commented, quote, "I feel much sympathy for his kids and Nicole. I just wish the M man that was with Nicole got the same amount of media sympathy and coverage. Thankfully, his family went back after the trial and fought for him in court." Another one added, quote, "So sad poor Sydney, she took it the worst and is probably still traumatized and depressed from all the A he put her mommy through. Can't imagine living with those memories of last time seeing your mom. Breaks my heart." O.J. Simpson is a former NFL football star, actor, and broadcaster notable for both his athletic achievements and legal controversies. Recognized for his college football prowess at USC, where he secured the Heisman Trophy in 1968, Simpson went on to establish a record-setting career in the NFL, earning widespread popularity.
Initially, people are confused, and then they get mad. I mean, it's just so weird now because even talking about him as a football player, it seems like you're missing, like we're overlooking the obvious.
His life took a dramatic turn when, in 1994, he faced charges in connection with the M of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman. The highly publicized criminal trial ended with Simpson's acquittal, though he was later found liable for their deaths in a civil court. In 2007, Simpson encountered legal trouble again, this time for kidnapping and armed robbery of two sports memorabilia dealers in a Las Vegas hotel room. Subsequently, in 2008, he received a sentence of up to 33 years in prison. After being granted parole, Simpson was released from prison on October 1st, 2017, marking a significant chapter in his complex and controversial life. To understand what actually happened to him, let's take a look at his early life. Orenthal James Simpson, born on July 9, 1947 in San Francisco, California, was given the name Orenthal by his aunt, inspired by a French actor she admired. Facing health challenges early in his life, at the age of 2, Simpson developed rickets, resulting in a pigeon-toed and bow-legged condition. He wore a pair of shoes connected by an iron bar for several hours daily until the age of 5. The separation of Simpson's parents in 1952 led to his upbringing by his mother in the challenging, predominantly black Potrero Hill district of San Francisco, alongside a brother and 2 sisters. At the age of 13, he became involved with a gang known as the Persian Warriors, leading to a week-long stay at the San Francisco Youth Guidance Center in '62 following a fight.
Go Bills! Go Bills!
You're still a Bills fan?
I go back to a couple of the games, you know. Never better fans you'll ever meet.
Despite initial academic challenges, Simpson's exceptional football skills at Galileo High School caught attention. Overcoming academic hurdles, he showcased his talent at the City College of San Francisco, earning admission to the University of Southern California as a halfback. O.J. Simpson initially rose to prominence as a standout halfback for the USC Trojans, earning recognition as a two-time All-American. His impressive college career included setting NCAA records and culminated in him being awarded the prestigious Heisman Trophy in 1968. Transitioning to the professional level, Simpson joined the Buffalo Bills in 1969. While it took some time for him to truly shine, the team's offensive strategy was eventually tailored to highlight his running abilities. Known by the nickname The Juice, Simpson achieved remarkable success, surpassing 1,000 yards rushing for the 5 consecutive years from 1972 to 1976 and leading the NFL in that category 4 times. In a historic feat in 1973, he became the first NFL player to rush for over 2,000 yards in a single season. Simpson also left an indelible mark by setting league records, including 23 touchdowns in 1975 and a remarkable 273 rushing yards against the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day in 1976, records that have since been broken.
If you start a conversation about O.J. Simpson and you begin by talking about what a great tailback he was, initially people are confused.
Following his retirement from professional football in 1979, O.J. Simpson transitioned to a lucrative career as a sportscaster and actor. While still an active athlete, he had ventured into acting, notably portraying a man falsely accused of M by the police in the 1974 film The Klansman. One of his most recognizable acting roles came in the Naked Gun film series, starting with The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad in 1988. Simpson played the character of Nordberg, a dim-witted assistant detective, and continued in subsequent sequels. Beyond his film roles, he became a familiar face in TV commercials for the Hertz rental car company, showcasing his athleticism by leaping over luggage and other obstacles in pursuit of a flight. In addition to his acting endeavors, Simpson worked as a commentator for Monday Night Football and was associated with the NFL on NBC brand, further solidifying his presence in the world of sports broadcasting. At the age of 19, O.J. Simpson married his high school sweetheart, Marguerite Whitley, who was 18 years old at the time. The wedding took place in June '67, and the couple went on to have 3 children together, Arnell, Jason, and Aaron. While still actively playing football, Simpson ventured into acting, with one of his notable roles being in the film The Klansman, where he portrayed a man framed for M by the police.
Well, you gonna learn anyway that all that marching gonna get you is what you got. Screwed.
In March 1979, Simpson and Marguerite divorced. Tragedy struck the family just 5 months later when Aaron, their youngest child, drowned in the family swimming pool shortly before her 2nd birthday. Around this time, Simpson had already started a relationship with Nicole Brown, an 18-year-old blonde waitress. Less than a year later, they were living together. The year 1979 marked a significant transition for Simpson. Alongside his divorce, the loss of his daughter, and moving in with Brown, he also decided to retire from football. Without the gridiron, Simpson continued to find success on camera, earning acclaim for his charisma and good looks. Many regarded him as a personality transcending sports, class, and race. He worked as a sportscaster for NBC and appeared in various movies. During this period, he stood out as one of the men with such widespread appeal. In 1985, Simpson and Nicole Brown got married, and they had 2 children together. The marriage was marked by turmoil, with police responding to incidents at the couple's residence on multiple occasions, notably after a New Year's Eve party in 1989. News outlets reported that during one such incident, Simpson ate his wife to the extent that she required hospitalization. Distressed, she ran towards officers, exclaiming, "He's going to K me, he's going to K me." Photographs taken during that period later presented at Simpson's M trial depicted Nicole Brown Simpson's severely bruised face. According to police reports, Simpson remarked to the responding officers, quote, "The police have been out here 8 times before and now you're going to arrest me for this?" Simpson entered a plea of no contest to spousal battery, later asserting, quote, "I did not plead no contest for any other reason but to protect our privacy and was advised it would end the press hype." Denise, Nicole's sister, testified that the A on that occasion wasn't isolated, stating that it was neither the first nor the last time Nicole had been subjected to violence by her husband. The couple officially divorced in '92 after 7 years of marriage. Despite an unsuccessful attempt at reconciliation, they maintained contact and the relationship continued to be tumultuous. In a deposition for the civil trial in '97, Simpson admitted to causing harm to Nicole, stating, quote, "I take total responsibility." Shortly before midnight on June 12, 1994, Nicole Brown Simpson's dog guided a neighbor to the gruesome discovery of the bloodied bodies of Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. The two victims had been stabbed and slashed, left on the pathway to Nicole Brown Simpson's Brentwood condominium.
Dear Mr. Simpson, hello. It's me, Kim, Ron Goldman's sister. I'm wondering if you would sit down and talk to me. I just want to understand whatever can be understood.
Within 4 hours of the discovery, Simpson checked into a hotel near Chicago's airport, having flown there just before midnight for a scheduled promotional engagement. Upon receiving contact from local police, he promptly returned to Los Angeles. Upon his return, police considered him a suspect, handcuffed Simpson for questioning, but later released him. 5 days later, Simpson agreed to surrender to face M charges, but he failed to appear, leading to his declaration as a fugitive. At a news conference, his friend Robert Kardashian read what he described as a S letter. Shortly afterward, Simpson was spotted being driven in his white Ford Bronco, allegedly holding a gun to his head.
It wasn't a chase in a traditional sense. It was O.J. Simpson reportedly in the back seat of a Bronco with a gun to his head, and you'd see people lining.
A.C. Cowlings, Simpson's childhood friend and former teammate, drove the Bronco, leading a convoy of squad cars on a 60-mile low-speed chase across Southern California. The spectacle became a televised event in car chase-obsessed Los Angeles, drawing crowds of onlookers cheering as the Bronco passed. Ultimately, Simpson surrendered to the police at his home. Simpson vehemently declared his innocence, pleading 100% not guilty. To bolster his defense, he assembled a formidable legal team, often referred to as the Dream Team, composed of renowned local and national lawyers. This team included civil rights attorney Johnny Cochran, star defense attorneys F. Lee Bailey and Alan Dershowitz, and DNA expert Barry Scheck. Notably, Robert Kardashian, a friend of Simpson and father of the Kardashian sisters, was also part of the legal defense.
Millions who watch the verdict will never forget these images. A young Kim Goldman sobbing in disbelief on her father's shoulder as a jury found O.J. Simpson not guilty.
The prosecution, led by Marcia Clark and Chris Darden, focused on establishing a timeline, presenting evidence of domestic A and highlighting DNA findings on a bloody glove discovered at the crime scene and another found at O.J. Simpson's property. The Dream Team strategically cast doubt on the police's handling of evidence and accused lead detective Mark Furman of racial bias. Despite Simpson not taking the stand, one of the trial's most memorable moments occurred when prosecutor Darden asked Simpson to try on the infamous gloves, one found at the M scene and the other at Simpson's property.
As far as I can tell, this is the glove. If you remember, there was one glove found at the crime scene that was referred to as the bloody glove.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Simpson's visible struggle to fit into the gloves became a pivotal point. In his closing statement, Cochran delivered the iconic line, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." The trial captivated the nation, turning into a cable news sensation and a topic of widespread discussion. In an era predating social media, millions of viewers closely followed every aspect of the trial, analyzing witnesses, legal nuances, sidebar conversations, and even Marcia Clark's hairstyle changes. The trial endured for just over 8 months, spanning from opening statements to the final verdict. After this extensive period, the jury, consisting of 9 African Americans, 1 Hispanic, and 1 Caucasian, deliberated for 4 hours before delivering their verdict. The world seemed to hold its breath at 10 a.m. Pacific time on October 3rd, '95, as Nielsen reported that an astonishing 53 million people were tuned in to witness the verdict. As the words "not guilty to all counts" resonated in the courtroom, Johnny Cochran turned jubilantly, exclaiming yes. On the other hand, Robert Kardashian appeared stunned, while O.J. Simpson, after a deep sigh, finally broke into a relieved smile, expressing gratitude to the jury by silently mouthing, "Thank you, thank you." The emotional scene was contrasted by the audible sobs of Kim Goldman, Ron Goldman's sister, who bent over in grief.
Has in this case been convicted of at least 1 crime of murder of the first degree and 1 or more crimes of the first or second degree to be not true.
Outside the courthouse, a divided crowd of supporters and critics of Simpson lined the sidewalk. The reactions mirrored the widespread sentiments across the United States, with many Black Americans celebrating the verdict, and many white Americans in a state of shock. In ESPN's 2017 documentary, O.J. Made in America, prosecutor Marcia Clark reflected on the starkly different responses to the not guilty verdict, noting that, quote, "It was all so much bigger than we were. The racial divide and reactions underscored the profound impact of the trial on American society. Despite the not guilty verdict in the criminal trial, O.J. Simpson faced legal repercussions in a civil suit filed by the families of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown for wrongful death. In the Santa Monica courtroom, without the presence of cameras, a new team of lawyers, and a lower threshold for guilt, Simpson was found liable for the deaths. This verdict came in February '97, accompanied by a hefty order for Simpson to pay $33.5 million in damages, an amount exceeding his financial resources. To comply with the judgment, Simpson relocated to Florida, taking advantage of state laws that shielded his pension and home from being seized to settle the damages. As a consequence, Simpson's Heisman Trophy, a prestigious football award he had earned, was ordered to be sold to satisfy part of the debt, ultimately bringing in $230,000. The civil trial outcome, though distinct from the criminal trial, underscored the legal complexities surrounding the case and its lasting financial implications for O.J. Simpson. 13 years to the day after O.J. Simpson was acquitted of Double M, a Las Vegas jury delivered a different verdict, finding him guilty of armed robbery, kidnapping, and 10 other charges. Simpson claimed he was attempting to retrieve his stolen property from two sports memorabilia dealers, Bruce Frommong and Alfred Beardsley. Despite Simpson himself being unarmed during the confrontation, at least two of his associates were carrying weapons. Additionally, the planning, the actual raid, and the subsequent police response were secretly recorded by another individual. In the recorded audio, Simpson can be heard shouting, quote, "Don't let nobody out of here." The recordings also captured responding officers expressing determination to bring charges against Simpson in Nevada if California couldn't do so. All of this evidence was presented during Simpson's Nevada criminal trial.
We were just robbed at gunpoint by O.J. Simpson. Can you send police here, please?
Where are you?
What's the name? What room is this? What room is this? 1203. 1203.
During O.J. Simpson's Nevada trial, his lawyer, Yale Gallanter, expressed concern that the jurors might be influenced by a desire for payback due to Simpson's earlier not guilty verdict in the criminal M trial. The jury in the Nevada case deliberated for 13 hours before ultimately finding Simpson guilty on 12 charges. Upon sentencing Simpson, Judge Jackie Glass asserted that the decision was not driven by retribution or payback. However, some observers viewed the sentence as unusually severe. Jeffrey Toobin, a senior legal analyst for CNN who covered the Simpson trials and authored The Run of His Life, expressed his belief that there was a significant element of payback in the Nevada case. Toobin suggested that the severity of the sentence for what he deemed a dubious crime appeared to be a form of punishment for the earlier M case, despite the judge's explicit denial of such motivations. Quote, "I think there was a large measure of payback in the Nevada case," said Jeffrey Toobin. "It was dubiously a crime in the first place, and to see the very long sentence, it seemed to me that he was being punished for the M even though the judge said he wasn't," Toobin said. During a parole hearing in 2013, a bulkier O.J. Simpson entered the proceedings, expressing remorse for his actions. He conveyed a desire to undo the past, stating, quote, "I just wish I had never entered that room. I wish I had simply said keep it and not worried about it." Despite his plea, Simpson was denied parole and returned to the Lovelock Correctional Center facility, a medium-security prison located in the isolated desert town of Lovelock. He has remained there since 2008. A parole panel consisting of 4 members in Carson City was set to determine Simpson's fate in 2017. At that time, Simpson made his appearance via a video feed from prison. The commissioners weighed various factors, including Simpson's behavior behind bars, the gravity of his offense, and his age. Fred Goldman, the father of Ron Goldman, mentioned to CNN that he wouldn't be astonished if Simpson were to be granted parole. If this prediction comes to fruition, the Juice could potentially regain his freedom in October.
Well, it was my stuff. I followed what I thought the law. My lawyer told me you can't break in a guy's room. I didn't break into anybody's room.
The events preceding, during, and following Simpson's trial significantly influenced race relations nationwide. Termed the trial of the century, it shed light on issues such as the treatment of African Americans by the police, domestic violence, and the impact of wealth on the justice system, ultimately leaving a lasting impact on race relations in the United States. The transformation of a celebrity into an accused criminal, a globally televised low-speed police pursuit, and a nearly year-long televised trial that captivated the nation left an indelible mark on the 90s. This impactful period is still remembered by many, including Greg Jones, now serving as the president of the NAACP's Dane County chapter. Quote, "Having witnessed it through television, reading newspapers and magazines, and conversing with people who experienced those days, it was a moment that held the nation's attention," remarked Jones. O.J. Simpson, represented by a former formidable legal dream team that included Johnny Cochran Jr. and F. Lee Bailey was acquitted by a jury in '95. The trial, often described as the trial of the century, prompted divergent interpretations, expectations, and conclusions among both white and black communities who watched the televised proceedings for months. Quote, white folk and black folk looked at the same TV stations and TV event for months and came up with different interpretations, expectations, and conclusions, Jones said. The verdict notably divided the nation along racial lines, with many white Americans believing Simpson had escaped justice for M, while many black Americans maintained his innocence. Professor Hermant Shaw of UW-Madison, an expert in media portrayals of race, emphasized that the trial accentuated the racial dimension, symbolizing a black man on trial for the M of a white woman. The case also had the added layer of a famous and affluent African-American male, who in some respects had achieved societal success, but appeared disconnected from the African-American community. Quote, it stood in a lot of ways, for race relations in America, Shaw said, black men on trial for the M of a white woman. There was also the layer of a famous rich African-American male who in a lot of ways had made it in society's terms, who was either disconnected to some degree to the African-American community, Jones said, according to Greg Jones, president of the NAACP's Dane County chapter. This perceived disconnect highlighted societal issues. While some problems and disparities have been addressed over time, others persist in today's society.